Hello YouTube and welcome back to my Apothecary Diaries reaction series, back here again for episodes 11 and 12 of Season 2. Very excited to be here. Finishing this core, I guess. I don't know if it's going to be like finalistic or whatnot, but I think it should be, based on pacing. I don't know, I say finalistic, but I mean things are going to come to a head. You know what I mean, I guess. Either way, YouTube comments to frame our discussion, of course, which are there. Actually there. That's probably better. Yeah, last week was a bit of a short one. There was a little bit of scuttlebutt about Shisui, but other than that, it was kind of just a very episodic. I don't know, it was spooky, it was kind of cool, but yeah, I'm keen to get into more serious, big picture Apothecary Diaries stuff. Either way, starting here with Molly. Sorry, take me as a warning. If you let the Utena brain rot take hold, you'll never watch another anime without thinking about it again. You can add manga to the list as well, because yesterday when I did Land of the Lustrous, I was mentioning Utena, so it's consumed me. It's already too late. Utena's very good. Watch Utena. I don't know. Read Utena. Listen to the radio of Utena. Put some Utena in your life. It'll make your life better. Next comment here from Highly Calm. This season in general has a lot of mirrors as a theme, so this time code was me talking about my Shisui thing, where I think Shisui looks kind of like Lao Lan, based on the eyes, and again, Mama's like, where have I seen her before? That was my broad theory coming off of last week. I have no confirmation if that is correct or not, but it's what I'm running with in the here and now. It is important to note that Lao Lan has a bunch of identical ladies in waiting. I don't know if they have the same striking eye color, but it could be possible that it's just another lady in waiting of Lao Lan. But yeah, it's adding to this whole thing. Shisui looks like somebody, the same way that, again, identical envoys look like each other. We have 3 identical sisters that look like each other. We had the whole, what was her name, Jin or something? I forget. But the whole body swap, is that person the same person type story from early in the season as well. The mirror as a gift. Lao Lan's ladies in waiting, as we've mentioned. There's loads of mirrors. And again, seeing it all laid out like this is, it's quite clear to see. I was already picking it up, obviously, but like, it is blatant. It is a blatant thing all the way down to the opening. So, yeah. Lao Lan, so not Lao Lan, Shisui is meant to reflect somebody. And I think it's Lao Lan, so I don't know. Would we be as crass to just do another twin plotline? I was seeing maybe a sister. I don't know. It's hard to say. But again, as I was talking about it, and I'll spin this into Pencil Sharp's comment as well about Shisui. Shisui mentioned previously something about the Empress Dowager, which was kind of like, I think she's nice and stuff. As we know, Lao Lan's father is Shisho. Shisui. And as we know from there, Shisho had that connection to the Empress Dowager as well, so who can say? But I feel like that makes sense to me, if that makes any sense. Like that connection. I forgot to spin it into a comment as well. So we're implying here that Shisui's story about a guy being kind of brought into this scary, spooky house before they get kind of murdered and eaten and stuff is kind of reflective of the situation that they're already in. Did she know about this current situation? If she has explicit knowledge of the people of the Rear Palace and their pasts and that kind of thing, and what somebody may be planning, especially in the north, would that have an association with people in power, such as a Shisho, people that would be aware of certain situations that occurred in the past that may result in people feeling scornful? It's convoluted, but I think so maybe. It all, divorced from all my theories, it proves to me that Shisui at least knows something, and tying that into Mao saying that you look like somebody, it's clearly, I don't know. She's always been sus. She's always popping out of the walls. We've been kind of foreboding about her. I really don't know what to make of it, but clearly the show is going to do something. Now the question is that show going to do something in the next 2 episodes? I have my doubts. I think we're going to, it's called The Hunt. I don't know what The Hunt would be, but I don't think for Shisui or whatever she's got going on. Either way, I'm keen to jump into the episodes. Probably going to record both here, maybe return tomorrow morning and do some analysis, maybe later this Arvo. Depends on my scheduling. But yeah, I'm keen to jump in. First, we should do the Patreon shout-out, of course. If you're really itching for that next Apothecary Diaries upload, it's up there on Patreon right now, linked in the description below. $6 a month gets you access. You can also comment on the YouTube videos. We're getting kind of towards new poll stuff too. Almost. Probably a good month and a half now that I think about it. But anyway, if and when there are new polls, you can, suggest things. I'll take precedence for your votes. You get double votes in said polls. It's pretty cool. Either way, many people have become patrons, such as Mickey Babbers, AJ, Bananarama Hamadama-sama, Capella, Chibba Copley, Dapper Dwarf, Ed, Fancy Question Mark, Fleur Nightingale, Fruit, Fusel, Gloriana Tenebrae, Glyke, Greybeard, Guanal, Gus N, Hans Peter, I'm Mildly Anxious, Ika, Iwayuru, Yanku Yavanen, Jacob R, Jummy Boo, Joran, Kasogtha, Kelvin, Clem, Nosta, Kot Begemot, Lick H, Lou, Marco-san, Mistake L Chen, Molly Weinberger, Mr. Maniacs, Parnik, Pencil Shop 333, Ron Lad B&K, Saint Lily, Sal, Sim1373, Skeleton, Tentacle Member, Waifu Overdose, Without a Net, Yuki Ali, Zach, Akumensa, Binchi, Voodoo Chili, and Aiden O'Brien. Thank you to everybody for giving me money. I enjoy the money. And yeah, I don't know, it was called The Hunt. There's way too much to recap that's going on in the Rear Palace. I don't know. I sense tragedy on the horizon, but I've said that a number of weeks now, so it's not really a concrete prediction. I don't know. I think I'm just going to jump in and start watching from episode 11. So let's get that up right now. Righty-o. I have episode 11 up there ready to go. 24 minutes flat on this one. I have the Crunchyroll subs. Sync up according with your own copy, if you have your own copy. If not, there's a picture-in-picture version in the description below for your viewing pleasure. Now let's give this thing a 3, 2, 1. Radio? 3, 2, 1. Go. That's very loud. There we go, that's better. Mau Mau show. Hooray. We're back. Meow meow. Is there any Shisui in the opening? Not from my memory. A lot of disembodied hands though. Figs, crab, lots of stuff on the table there. Yeah, I want to go back to Vertigra's house for a bit too. I haven't seen that whole gang in a while. Well, there's Shisui, holding the cat. First time we see Shisui, she's snaring literally Mau Mau the cat. Think about it. Insane foreshadowing. I remember from the preview, we're going to see Lihaku or somebody. I remember that. Yeah, I was excited. Also, those like flower petals and stuff going off in the wind, that's intriguing. Okay. Oh yeah, Jinchi was drinking some juice. I know, yep. This has certainly been coming as well. Hello, Gao Shun. What's tomorrow? Okay. Alright, tell me too, because it's still kind of up in the air. I'm being fanned. And so is Jinshi's not even pregnant. But you've been kind of everywhere. Why are you guys like acting? This is funny. This feels like rehearsed. The Hunt. Oh, interesting. My Mau Mau. Oh, that's great. Who's trolling who? Shao Mao. Oh, is that a thing? I guess I've never really noticed that. Oh, Kusuruya is what he normally goes with. Okay, so yeah, that's what we're getting at. I'd never really noticed that. Yeah, okay, sure. That's quite pretty. Yeah, sure. Pop off. Okay. Yeah. And who are they? Sure. I'm listening. I like Basen. He's kind of bitchy. I like it. Come on. Yeah, I thought that's where we were going. Correct. Yeah, Gaoshun's kind of important. That's, again, very pretty. Even Mama's doing it. Oh. Getting out of the rear palace is kind of interesting, too. CG carriage. Who else is going to be here? Anybody? Chinchi's being a bit of a diva. What the fuck? Okay. Are you gonna... Okay. We... Now? It's from a really good family. She doesn't know. On purpose. He could have blabbed very easily. And again, Mama's not dumb, right? Why did they go over to the corner and speak in secret? Yeah, this is kind of chill. What are you doing? Still hot. Oh, the ice. Not allowed. That's a bit brutal. Hey, yo. What do you mean by that? Okay. What is happening? I'm quite confused. I order you to eat. You don't have to tell me twice. I'm strong. I'm just built different. Or is it, are they all, is that the vibe? I was kind of picking that up as well. Is that the nosebleed? Is that why Jinchi's not? That'd be a reason. What a weird thing to serve, though. Oh. It's like she's in like a fucking oak barrel or something. I think it sounds foreboding. Who are these? What is this flintlock pistol? Hey, yo. Seems like there may be some kind of assassination attempt. That's no good. Okay. The hunt. Yeah, where's Memo? I know that she's just an assistant and the taste test and whatnot, but bringing her along for a hunt's kind of weird. I guess she would be good at this kind of stuff. And again, I know the sub thing is that Jinchi wants to tell her the truth. Oh, it's my good friend. Oh, him with the dog is very funny. uh, yeah, he's cool. Are you trying to whistle? Ooh, dog whistle. How does Mama feel about dogs? Yeah, okay, we're doing that as well. Indeed. You laugh now, but he's gonna have such a skinny waist this summer. Correct. The fuck is happening? I'm so lost this episode. And I think it's by design? At least a little bit. Because Mama's in the dark too. Hell yeah. Put a bit of mysterious white powder in it. Very cool. There was a waterfall nearby. Take your damn medicine. Like behind a waterfall. Was I actually right? Again, just kind of nearby a waterfall. That's pretty chill. Okay, are we gonna do it? What? Okay, the assassins. So the target was Corsen Summer. FIFA? Yo, okay. Alright, that's kind of cool. Sure. Desperate times, I guess. Uh, okay, sure. CPR, right? It doesn't even look like Mau Mau. I don't know if I even remember Mau Mau swimming at all. It was cool. Oh, Basen. Well, anyway, the face mask is off. It's time to stop hiding things. Oh, this is them all wet in the opening, too. Okay. Is Jinshi gonna get all... Nah, not right now. Oh yeah, the whole cock issue. Oh. He looks healthier. I wonder why. How long before people come after them, come looking for them? What is it, asparagus? Butterbur. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's just, starving himself, kind of. Oh, oh, oh. Eat the butterbur. Jinshi, what are you hunting for? Oh, you're a bit hungry too. Okay, are you gonna reveal your secret again, Jinshi? I guess the assassination attempt probably takes precedence. Okay, that's what we're calling a gun. So they have a couple of them. I wonder who. I wonder why. It's a bit more of a tunnel than just a cave. How do you know this? Okay, I guess the clothes dried. Wait, this like hole in the ceiling is kind of like the opening too. Oh, dog. See, it was a setup. I think Jinchi might get something out of that. Hop on. You're not fat enough. Where's my dog? He's coming. What? 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 I really like how she wasn't even that scared about the frog. Ooh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anything else? I mean, I think I know what's happening, right? Because she's in the middle of his what did I say earlier? Chekhov's cock or Chekhov's penis? Guess it just fired, much like the gun in the episode. Oh my god. It's all coming together. Yeah, I guess Jinshi's decision got made for him where I guess I should explain. Finding out that Jinchi isn't a eunuch is huge, right? For Mao Mao and putting some things together. Because it's like, okay, but then why pose as a eunuch? And then why is he so special? And then if he's got this weird thing where he's posing as a kind of eunuch in the rear palace, he must have special permission to do so. The emperor's brother is never seen. Oh my god, I'm putting it all together. The ceremony at the end of last season, why was he the next in line to be involved there? That's certainly something. Because again, that's the whole idea behind him not allowing Mao Mao to ring the garments either, is that, I don't know, Mao Mao's scantily clad, and that's confronting for Jinshi. And obviously she would know from that. So based on this happenstance where she just kind of fell, Now she gathered that information. At least I think that's where we're going. I don't know. I guess I'll find out very shortly. Ha ha uh-huh. Ah. Okay. Sure, man. What'd you call me? Okay, odd. I'm gonna bring up the next episode now. Whatever it was called. It was called some Japanese word. Sure, let's go do that. Alright, anyway. Episode 12 up there, ready to go. 24 minutes on that one. Sync up accordingly with your own copy. I'm using Crunchyroll. Picture in picture in the description below. Let's give this thing a 3, 2, 1. Radio. 3, 2, 1. Go. Yes. Water, reflection in the water. Yeah, there's one spot here where it's like the hole in the ceiling, right, in the cave. Like there. Yeah. See, I'm switched on, kind of. I don't know. We're gonna see what Mau Mau thinks in the cold light of day here. I guess I forgot the other half of it too, which is a confession of romantic interest, genuine romantic interest from Jinchi. Mau Mau could compartmentalize it as Jinchi maybe playing around before this point, especially him being a eunuch, but now it's a lot more real. How does Mau Mau feel about that? I don't know. That's another lens for sure. Flower. We never really did get into the whole what's the idea behind Shisho kind of throwing a hunt. Like I thought that's where we were going a little bit more that way, but no, it seems very kind of insular to the Mau Mau Jinshi thing. Right now anyway. Okay, we notice that they're missing. Oh. Wrap it up then. I don't think he has anything to do with it, but I could be wrong there. Okay, back to the good part. Back to the good stuff. Yeah? Thoughts? Anybody? Oh. Oh. Mau. Come on now. Stop gripping it. Grip it and rip it, eh? Oh. Well, yeah. Okay. Go on now, Jinshi. The music is so great. No, let me not hear this. I didn't expect us to play this as comedically. Who are you calling a frog? That's what I'm trying to explain. Okay, so he's got a little bit of insecurity maybe. Oh. Now what? Ah. Ah. Hey, yo, the leg is crazy. We were playing too crazy and then it got super flirty. What is it? What is that? Did you kiss her on the nose? No, okay, he's still going. Oh, no. Not the dog. What the dog doing? Okay. Does a dog come with another dog? Yeah, there you go. I forgot that element too. That's great. Correct. Okay. Yeah, so it gets a little bit political. I'm recording. That's good. Can it do any flips? But doesn't Lihaku know who Jinchi is? I know. You keep doing that. Calling it his frog is crazy. Oh, somebody will smell of sulfur or gunpowder or something, right? Okay. I thought the cloth was like kind of bloody. Oh, it's a ploy. Gotcha. Yeah, I was like, what are we doing? Because I don't remember any cloth seeing that before at all. We're trying to drag out the rats. That's the vibe, anyway. Oh. That guy looks evil. Why not tell Basen? Just keep him in the dark. Why not? This shit bussin'. That's not blood, it's strawberry jam. I don't know what the hell you're talking about at all. And blood. Loen. Yeah, this progressed very quickly. With my pooch. Okay, that seems like a convoluted way to get that to happen. That's my goat, Lihaku. Cooked him. Okay. But who do you work for is the question. Oh, and then they relegated. Okay, yeah, fair enough. West? Is that anything? No, it's cold. It grows. Give it a chance. My frog. Oh, yeah. Tamago. Yeah, I understand. He's just cute. I like the dog. It seemed like a very convoluted little plan. Mau thoughts. Anything? Got anything for me? Stunned silence? Wrap it up then. He got over it, I guess. How whimsical. Yo. We should try eating. Pardon? The Ma clan. Yep. Ah. Okay. Yeah, he's chill. Oh. Well, there you go. Some drunk guy just confirmed it. Just lie. The music's very pretty. Ah. Okay, so I guess that's the reveal, is that that's what the split is and what Jinchi was trying to do. Okay, we're pouring one out. Thoughts, Memo? Anything? Nothing? Now, that ending was kind of hype. Okay, so we're emphasizing that line too. Yep. Correct. Oh, he's back. What if he was just butt-ass naked? Really? Well, might be why. Okay. I guess you could interpret that nicely. Um, Ball bag. Oh, finger touch. Oh, multiple. Okay, easy. Jinchi, you did it. Damn. Mau Mau, you're very peculiar. Uh, I'll chop off his cock and balls. Yeah. Okay. Half moon. Wow. Kazugetsu. You are our king's, our emperor's younger brother. It remains to be seen. I don't know. I don't know, for how consequential these two episodes were and how consequential this reveal is, I feel like I leave feeling half cocked. I don't know, blue balled, however you want to say it. I just felt like it could have done a little bit more there, made it a little bit more finalistic, a bigger moment, actually break through to something a little bit more genuine with Mau Mau. I'm conflicted about ending it on the joke about the ox bazaar or whatever the hell. I feel like we could have played it a bit straighter. I don't know. Very frustratingly, and again on purpose, Mau Mau still isn't really grappling with what any of this means. She just says, "Oh yeah, don't care." Also, I got my goodie bag. Hooray! I don't know. I felt like a genuine Mau Mau like revelatory moment where she sits down and everything clicks into place for her as well would have been preferable. But again, potentially that is still coming. Of course, it is a mystery show. We're meant to be kind of dragging along that mystery a little bit. It's kind of the vibe. Wonder if we'll get it next time on. Boop. Yes, we do. Okay. Indeed. Sure. Hello? Everyone's getting oiled up. Okay, we're going for a bath. Yeah, everybody needs to get a little bit cleaner after that episode. Jesus Christ. And yeah, I'll return either this afternoon or tomorrow morning for a little bit of analysis on those two episodes. Right now, sitting in a bit of an unsure place about it all, but it was entertaining. I was laughing and quipping along. It must have been okay. So I'll see you then. And we're back. It's the next day. Another couple of episodes of the Apothecary Diaries on the pile. I guess I was conflicted about them. It was pretty good. I thought that we were building up to something a little bit bigger and more substantial, a little bit more reflective for both Mao Mao and Jinchi. A lot of what happened instead was a lot more external, and I felt like we got a little bit bogged down in the plot of the episode, specifically with the assassination attempt and whatnot, as opposed to the emotions of the characters in those scenes, specifically Mao Mao, which I thought was more interesting. Again, Mao Mao was lacking in this episode. I'm ready for her to change a little bit more. I'm ready for her to actually look and confront the reasons why she is the way that she is in a little bit more detail than she is doing currently. And again, that may be cooking. That's fine. I just want it now. I'm like at a restaurant and I've been waiting half an hour. I'm ready for my meal, I guess. The crux of this 2-episode arc being Jinchi revealing his secret to Mao Mao, and then not really even having concrete evidence if Mao Mao understood what Jinchi was trying to say, is frustrating. To say the least, I think. I choose to read between the lines in the here and now and think that in her heart of hearts, in her deepest, darkest recesses of her mind, she probably does know, and she's not admitting it. Potentially the next episode has a thing about bathing. What do you do in the bath? You reflect, you cleanse, I don't know, it all kind of comes together. Potentially this episode will be the way by which she accomplishes this and thinks about it some more and who Jinchi actually is and whatnot, right? But this being the episode where Jinchi confesses everything to Mao Mao, and when I say everything, I mean everything, it didn't feel as finalistic as I would have hoped. But, again, as always, moment to moment, the episodes were great. Love the characters. Lee Haku was in it. That can't be bad. There was a dog. That was pretty cool. Found the central mystery fine. The whole FIFA plot thing, that's fine. I like the machinations behind everything and the politics of Jinchi needing to hide his appearance. I do like learning a little bit more about Gao Shun and the sacrifices that he's had to make to be in the position that he currently is in and how much he cares for Jinchi as a result. I'm also a little bit confused by the final line whereby he says that Jinchi is the Emperor's brother, which that would imply that he's under the impression that there was no baby swap. I'm guessing Gao Shun was brought in after the fact when Jinchi learned the information that he did in that kind of dream sequence flashback, right? Where he learnt that people that he considered certain roles changed roles at a young age. Then Gao Shun comes in and all he knows is the fake roles. That's my read. And again, I keep doubling back on, is he actually the brother? Is he not the brother? I think there's too much evidence to the contrary for Jinchi to not be the Emperor's son instead, and there to have been a baby swap. And I think there's very, very few people that know about it. Maybe just Anshi. But again, I was umming and ahhing about this 2 weeks ago now, when we were doing her scenes. So again, it's yet to be seen. I'm looking for clarity. I'm looking for clarity on a lot of things, and I'm just kind of not finding it at the moment, leaving me a little bit on the frustrated side. But again, this is still like one of my favorite shows, so I want to watch more all the time. So again, maybe that answer to a lot of this stuff is just kind of hiding around the corner. A question I had for structure stuff is that people have mentioned previously that a light novel makes up a core. So we did one light novel on core 1 of season 1, and then another light novel on course 2 of season 1. And then would this be the end of a novel, this sequence here? Because I don't think that's a particularly good ending. I don't know. Again, there's no closure in my eyes to any of the things that have been going on in the Rear Palace. So I think that would be a poor piece of literature if that's the case. But anyway, I'm rambling. Let's go back through here and talk about it again. Why not? And here we have it, the previously mentioned kind of mission statement of what Jinchi's trying to do on this expedition, on this hunt. I plan to tell the apothecary the truth myself. Gao Shun here says that it would be hard to hide the secret on such an expedition. She's not a dumb girl. She would realize how important you are. Also that you're potentially hiding your identity, considering she knows the Jinchi side, Shisho knows the prince's brother's side. Do you know what I mean? That's why he has to hide the identity. That's the whole point. That's why he wears the face mask. That's why he doesn't eat. It all kind of feeds into itself, right? She's smart. She's going to figure out this after a while. Like, she's going to see the inconsistencies and be like, okay, why aren't you going out and eating? Why are you hiding your face? Why can't I go over and help you? And again, it culminating in this moment where they're kind of behind the waterfall, behind the veil. They're stripping away their clothes and stuff. They're trying to be honest with each other. And again, honest with our positions as well as our, affections as well. It's dual purpose. And as I said before, I just don't find a satisfying conclusion to that mission statement in this 2-episode chunk. And that is frustrating. Like, Mao Mao just keeps doing Mao Mao stuff. She kind of thinks about it for a second. She's like, am I emotionally stunted? And then kind of just doesn't think about it again and focuses in on the apothecary stuff, on the Ox Bazaar, as one is wont to do. Yeah, again, I'm going to keep saying the same thing because I really feel it, but I don't know. I would have done it differently. I will say, love individual scenes in this 2-episode chunk, though. This one's great. Gyokyo teasing Jinchi for not being able to say Mao Mao's actual name. There being a little bit of a, intimacy there, a little bit of a faux pas. He often goes for a that girl or a kusurio or something like that. I think it's really funny. You obviously know that Jinchi likes her, and you're teasing. And a character in such a powerful position, just being a little bit mischievous and stuff. It's really fun. Again, super endearing. Love Gyokyo as a character. As a result, she feels really smart, emotionally intelligent. Another fascinating part, which I'm sure I'll talk about in a little bit more detail, is the purpose behind Shisho inviting Jinchi. Well, not inviting Jinchi, inviting the Emperor's brother on a hunting trip, right? Whereby, kinda out of nowhere, some dude show up with guns and try to kill him. That's weird. Shisho didn't seem to be particularly disturbed about finding him as well. Like, he was just kind of chilling at the party while kind of Bassem was worrying. They'd been gone for 2 hours at that point. That's all very sus. Again, I'd have to go back to some of the first episodes in the season, now that I'm talking about it, and look who... it's Ayla and Aylin, right? The twins? Who they were meeting with. I believe one of the meetings was with Shisho. And then, of course, we're linking the guns to the west. They're from the west. They brought the weapons. They're meeting with Shisho. They're trying to make a power grab, kill the Emperor's brother. I don't know. Is that congruous? Is that what we're trying to do? They seem broadly evil. They've kind of had nothing to do in this first core, if I'm going to be frank about it. But let's go back and see who they're meeting with now. I feel like that's fascinating. Yeah, it was here. It was the start of this mirror episode. So these two are here, and then we do the whole mirror trick. One of them escapes and talks with Shisho. That's the scene we're referring to. So the audience is privy to that. Mao Mao isn't privy to that. Interesting. But Shisho has associations to the Empress Dowager, so... I'm really interested about this guy and what his plan is. Seems broadly antagonistic, seems like a bit of a power grabby kind of guy. Would he be the kind of guy to organize something like this in the background? I don't know, it's all just feeling suspect, obviously. But again, back to the shenanigans, these two feel like two peas in a pod as well. Just seeing how extra both of their respective masters are. She's just great, I love her, where Gyokyo stands for sure. There's nothing else to be said. Now, here's something I really liked about these 2 episodes as well. They got us out of the rear palace. It was feeling a little bit claustrophobic. I felt like that was also on purpose. Like, specifically, we didn't really see Luhrmann again. We didn't really go see Vertiger's house again. We kind of haven't been out in a while. And again, I was seeing this kind of like isolation bubble. Everyone's kind of... there's tension, there's paranoia, like that kind of side of it, right? So again, breaking that is significant. Breaking that at the same point, like this newfound freedom, pairing that with Jinchi confessing and not keeping as many secrets is smart. Is smart in the storytelling department. Again, I feel like my hang-up really is just Mao Mao. I'm ready for Mao Mao to stop playing dumb and be like, and it'll kind of domino in on it on itself, right? I'm ready for her to have that revelation. A little bit of lore here, which is cool. I don't know how accurate this is to actual history stuff, but it's pretty rad. So we have the kind of Empress Mother or whatever the hell, Mother Royal, there you go. She's on top. She's this top symbol, right? Flower, representing the Mother Royal, ancestor of the Emperor. The three swords under it represent the three warriors who helped her. Shisho is this big fuck-off character in the middle. Yeah, the larger sword represents the Shihoku Shu, the northern lands. That's where Shisho resides. That's where we're going. It's his, like, kind of home turf. If he's on the fucking flag, he's pretty powerful is the point. I do like the framing device being Basen telling the history and Mao Mao kind of falling asleep at the prospect. Again, you got to involve some poisons or something in there, otherwise you're just not going to get kind of her on board with it. It's not her vibe. Another thing that we note very early, which is the connection to this whole Ma clan reveal around Gao Shun as well, is that he was invited in his own right. He wasn't invited as a right-hand man to Jinshi. It was, you're special. You're actually important here. You're worthy of being here too, Gao Shun. Which again is in fitting with how we've seen Gao Shun in ceremony in the past. He's always in important locations, another indicator that Jinshi is beyond just the Emperor's favorite eunuch. And as I said in the reaction, the thing that the connection Mao Mao should make is that Jinshi is posing as a eunuch, though not being a eunuch, because I felt up his cock and balls. So he's lying. Why would he lie? Make it all fold into place, Mao Mao. She hasn't really had that moment where she's like, oh, that kind of eureka moment that I'm looking for. Again, just gorgeous. Very, very pretty. This reminds me of some of the really nice background stuff we had early in Season 1 as well. Specifically, the whole... She was dancing in the moonlight, and then she went back and she was with her little sweetheart or whatever. There was some really nice background work there early in Season 1. I feel like that's reflected here again. This here's when we first start to note some suspicious stuff. Hey, this room is super stuffy. This is like a, it's a little bit more north, maybe even a little bit more equatorial. No, it's a little bit too north there. I don't know, it's hotter. Point being, okay, let's open up some windows. Crack a window, get some breeze running through here. Clearly Jinshi's struggling in all this garb and stuff. What's the go? Why can't we open windows? What's the go? Why are you wearing a face mask all the time? What's the go? Why do we have to call Jinshi by this special other weird name that isn't Jinshi's name? What gives? Another great character moment in here for Jinshi is when we learn about this Korsen name and Mao Mao questions it. Jinshi goes to say something but immediately pulls himself back. He's like, no, the time isn't right. I can't do it in such a setting. I'm kind of embarrassed about it too. Of course, Basen picks up on this and Gao Shun clues him in as well. Yeah, this moment of internal conflict is really nice. And again, there's this build in the episode that I think is really cool to this point, whereby I'm going to say it, okay, it accidentally got revealed without me saying it. I don't know, it's this whole kind of cock tease element to the episode. They're blue balling us. Also, Gao Shun beats his son? That's no good. Boo. We hate a abusive father. I don't know, it was like a Looney Tunes slap. It must have been okay. So am I dumb? Because my thought with this scene and why Jinshi didn't want to eat was because, the food had specific qualities that were invigorating. And Jinshi specifically would not want to feel invigorated here at this moment. And then you kind of get invigorated? Is that what we're getting at, or am I being too crass? Is it just alcohol strong? I don't want alcohol. I don't know, it's kind of hard to pick up. I mean, I don't think it would be outside the show's wheelhouse. We've done aphrodisiacs before, so... I don't know, is seashell, turtle, and aphrodisiac? I don't know. Again, I feel really dumb. Like, Jinshi's obviously, emphasizing, hey, Mao Mao, is it okay if I eat this food? Is it okay if I reveal my secret to you? It feels like those two are linked in the scene subtextually, right? Like, is that what we're getting at? I don't know. I do not know. Okay, because then he drinks the drink, which is a particularly strong alcohol, and he's smashed immediately, and is nosebleed horny nosebleed? Please advise, I'm unsure. How is this girl not affected? He fucking keels over. He's got like a fucking super boner or something. I don't know. He falls over in horniness. Ooh, mirror spotted, mirror spotted, mirror spotted. I don't know. Every single time, man. Yeah, bathing too. Bathing's been a thing in the show. And we're doing that again next episode, coming clean, bearing all, what a bath signifies in the plot. At night, there is a meeting, there is a plot. We have some mysterious new air-dwells that want to make an attempt on Jinchi's life. Again, I don't know. This kind of episodic plot felt kind of really obvious. I feel like sometimes the show tends to get a little bit convoluted with the science of it all, but a dog sniffing at a gun seems way too much of an overcorrection. It feels way too easy. I don't know. I feel like the side of it where Lihaku is helping and needs to convince Basen that he's got an idea and he's actually executing on a plan and just to trust him. I feel like that's really smart, as well as the stuff with the arrows to try to flush out the people and get them scared and get them all back into the woods. Sweet. Just the base kind of mystery at the center, the dog smelling the gunpowder, is really obvious. I don't know, but also I think dogs are cute, so it can't be that bad. I don't know. I think I have really high standards for this show that I sometimes apply. I don't know. It's still obviously fantastic. Oh yeah, this was the other point in the reaction where I kind of questioned what Mao Mao is even doing here, and that, hey, the purpose of Mao Mao being here specifically is really cynical. Like, it's because Jinchi wants to confess everything. That is why she is here. Mao Mao must understand that too. Why would they bring me along? I'm no good on a hunt. I'm just a taste tester. You could have gotten anybody to do that. I'm special? Yeah, Jinchi actually cares a lot about you. Like, a lot. I think the almost kiss there's an indicator there too, right? Mao Mao, think on this. And again, I get it. The show justifies it by saying that she's stunted from a young age. The whole baby kind of thing we'll go into later. Like emotionally stunted, I mean. But it's to the point of like, hey, fucking wake up. Wake up, Mao Mao, you know? Again, Lihaku's here. Lihaku's great. I love how fucking much he loves Pyrin. He's just a Chad. He gets shit done. He's got a cute dog. He's kind of dumb. He's himbo. This is my guy, for sure. So a fun connection here that we realize later on as well is that Lihaku has been kind of designated as taking care of the dog because the dog can't come along on the hunt specifically because the dog would smell the gunpowder immediately as well. Kind of smart. I don't know. Again, Lihaku's kind of dumb and wouldn't read between the lines there as well. Again, these are all just really smart setups with the dog whistle and the dog being smart, and yeah. Again, they come back. There's a reason why they're in the screenplay. So again, this whole time, Mao Mao continues to ponder to himself about why Jinchi is in the position that he's in. Why is he clearly hiding his identity, not eating? There's clearly a lot of focus on him. He has a really prominent seat right up here next to the guy running the show. This is his land. The Ma clan, who are well regarded, are also his kind of servant boys. That's insane, right? What kind of good family is Jinchi from, to the level where he would get this kind of attention? Mao Mao, please, Mao Mao. Jinchi, because of not eating and drinking, and because of the excessive heat, also being out on the hunt, traveling, he's feeling worse for wear and kind of goes outside to get some air. This is when Gao Shun tells Mao Mao to go off and kind of be with him for a bit, take care of him, see how he's doing, not knowing, of course, that an assassination attempt will take place at this time as well. Now again, nothing but praise for this whole kind of ending sequence of this episode and the start of the next. I feel like the tension's great. I really identify with Jinchi's plight in trying to find the right time to say this information and then it accidentally getting revealed very awkwardly. I feel like that's really well written and really nice. If anything, it's just entertaining. It's really good. The irony of him just about to confess here at this moment and then the shot coming in again, like, hey, I'm trying to tell you that I'm royalty in the here and now, and because I'm royalty and because there's attempts being made on my life, I can't tell you in the here and now too. It's like this double-edged sword. Even some really fun stuff here of Mao Mao kind of reaching kind of under the face mask, trying to wipe away the sweat on his face, trying to, sneak under the facade, see into the real him. It's only upon getting down under the water and we actually start to bear it all that kind of some information gets out there a little bit more too. Yeah, fun. Really fun. Obviously, again, whoever wrote the story here, the original, clearly knows screenwriting. or not screenwriting, just writing in general, setup, payoff, the reason why things are the way they are on screen. There is inherent value in all of this stuff. And that's great. Love the drama of Jinchi jumping off of the waterfall as well. A whole 50 meters or whatever we said it was, so it's no small leap. How do we feel about the CPR being the kiss in this scene before the actual attempted kiss too? It's kind of smart. I don't know. I feel like it's cool. And now I'm not like that. I don't like dudes. So I guess I'm not getting the other side of this scene, which is that it's kind of romantic and the tension's really great. And it's really ooh, Jinchi. That's not me. I don't get the butterflies from it all, I guess. It's just kind of like that, you know? Yeah, that's the other side of this too. That's the entertaining part. I'm going to put my hand up as well. I'm going to say I called the cock stuff. The penis being important. The penis being revealed. All that stuff. Yeah, I nailed it. I'm fucking goated. Specifically here, Jinchi not wanting to shed certain undergarments because they may show something that he doesn't want shown here at this time, especially with Mao Mao scantily clad. I don't understand the significance of the butter burr. Maybe I should look up some stuff regarding that because it's being used here at this pivotal moment in their relationship too. It's a show about being an apothecary. There's probably some extra metaphorical, meaning behind this in the scene. Yeah, I googled butter burr for a bit, but couldn't really find anything. I'll drink anything butter burr. Is that anything? I don't know. The other part of this is I've never really bought the will they won't they Jinchi Mao Mao thing as much of a thing. It's very one-sided. And again, to my to my frustrations, Mao Mao doesn't unpack that in the way that I think that she should here at this time. And again, I know it's on purpose. I know, but I'm ready. I'm ready to see some of that. Point being that I'm more into the machinations. I'm more into the behind-the-scenes stuff, the power grabs, the Mao Mao solving things than the Mao Mao emotional side. But I'm willing and able to be. So, I don't know. I'm going to stop talking about it. It feels very rom-com-y in a way, which, again, isn't derogatory. I feel like that's cool. Especially this part, it feels really subversive with the frog. The frog going on the hands, and then, your traditional heroine in the story may get a little bit freaked out, go, ew, gross frog, and then slip, and then it causes the uncomfortable situation. That's in the playbook. That's classic. I like Mao Mao's response here, in contrast, which is it's just a frog. That's kind of chill. But upon shaking her head to get rid of the frog, that's when she slips. She's fine with the frog. She's just get out of here, buddy. Yeah, and then falls as a result of that, as opposed to getting freaked out. I don't know, then Jinchi gets really intense. Mao Mao tries to get up, and Jinchi pulls her closer into an embrace. And I mean, that's kind of the end of the episode too. How cool. Yeah, again, we're nailing some of this lighting stuff. Really think that's really theatrical. That's cool. As I noted before, now being in the next episode, Shisho's kind of just sipping his drink. He seems pretty content that, to his knowledge, the Emperor's brother is out there and has been missing for 2 hours. I don't know, if you really cared about his well-being, somebody that important, you'd kind of drop the whole party thing and go and look for him. I don't know, that would be what I would do. Which again, maybe implicates him a little bit, as we've discussed. Now, this whole scene's hilarious. The whole hand on the cock and balls type situation, thinking that it may be a frog, Jinchi getting all hot and bothered as a result. Just really great comedy. I said in the reaction, and I stand by it, I love how comedically we play this whole set piece. Just really waiting for the scene where we sit down and take it seriously. I think comedy's a great kind of lens to see this scene through in the short term, right? First result is Jinchi has a cock. That's scary. That's funny. Then that's unexpected, and we should play with that in the scene. But then I believe in the narrative there should be a scene where Mao Mao unpacks that. And again, I know the reason why she doesn't unpack that, but still, I don't know. Going around in circles. Jinchi getting all frustrated at Mao Mao's attempts to swat away whatever he's trying to kind of convey and, confess and stuff. And linking that into, I guess, a penis-sized joke. What do you mean it was a frog? It's bigger than a frog. No, it was just a frog. No, it was at least somewhat large frog. No, it was a frog all the same. Good stuff. Don't know about this whole leg grabbing situation. That seems very, I don't know. I thought Jinchi was more of a missionary kind of guy. Again, yes and no. I don't know. I do like explicitly linking in the narrative Jinshi confessing his identity as well as confessing his feelings, tying those two together is really smart. And again, the kind of bridging piece there for that being this kind of frog cock type situation. Again, really, really fun, really smart. Like Mao Mao was teasing too much and then he felt the need to do what he's doing here. It's fun. It's really fun. And if not for the dog, they would have smooched. She seems like she's pursing her lips there a little bit. I don't know, or is it just acceptance? It's hard to say. And it's a bit of a gasp and it goes into a... I'm trying to analyze the consent, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to do. Another really, really smart part is, remember Jinshi's whole thing with Lihaku? And his kind of jealousy there and Mao Mao not always being fully honest with Jinshi about what Lihaku is to her as well. Like, that was the thing in season 1 for sure. Playing with that again, it's insecurity about his own masculinity, linking that into the somewhat large frog type conversation from before, into Lihaku the Giga Chad. Like, here at this moment, I'm trying to plan a kiss on her, and then Lihaku shows up. It's really fun. Jinshi's obviously feeling, kind of biffed at it. I like how we're bringing it back. Again, really, really good. So, question. Lihaku knows Jinshi from the Rear Palace. We've seen scenes with them together. Lihaku at that time, to my knowledge, didn't know the secret about Jinshi. And he just saw Jinshi in this ditch. Like that. Without the mask on. So it's like, oh, Jinshi's here. And wait, there was also the masked guy that was here before. Jinshi's the masked guy? Why is Jinshi the masked guy? And then he asks questions from there? Or do we just write it off as Lihaku being kind of dumb? Even here, Mao Mao feels the need to continue to call Jinshi Kosen, which is kind of his fake name for this expedition. That would imply that Lihaku doesn't know. I thought Lihaku and Jinshi met. I could have swore they did. They had a scene. Like an interrogation scene or something. I don't know. Potentially I'm forgetting. Please correct me if I'm wrong. There was a small attempt here at Mao Mao to unpack what just happened. I came up with some crazy excuse. She, admits that to herself. That's a step. And then she's straight back to business. There must be a way to determine who shot us earlier. That's when we get all detective-y and she turns on the Mao Mao mode. Again, I want you to unpack why you couldn't be honest with Jinshi in that moment and vulnerable and needed to come up with some crazy offhand lie and kind of try to weasel your way out of the situation. And from there, it's into the plan. It's into executing, of course. First, we present Basen with this bloody cloth. It implies that Jinshi got kind of washed away in the rapids and a search party is produced. From here, we've already got a mark. The dog's already barking at this guy that shot the gun because he smells of gunpowder. Love this look here from Lihaku as well as Basen's watching along. Like, hey man, trust me, I got this. I've just found out some crucial information, even if I can't tell you all the context right now. Yeah, just... I like this guy. He's a real stick in the mud. I'm a Basen guy too. Now, I don't really understand this part. We're just kind of scapegoating this guy to try to flush out some other guy. And this is when Basen kind of tries to pick up on, or starts to pick up on, that there is a plot here, there is a ploy by Jinshi. Lihaku specifically coming in the midst of the chaos and saying, hey, we should search the forest for more of these arrows as evidence, right? Because we're not getting anywhere with just one side versus the other and no evidence to back it up. Let's go and have a look. And again, Basen agrees. Lihaku smiles. This is part of the plan. Don't really know about Mao Mao being the one here to, face the guy that had the gun, face the assassin. I know that she has friends nearby and whatnot, but I don't know. It feels very much like she's the main character and that's the reason why she's here rather than it feeling organic. Because I wouldn't risk letting this guy too close to Mao Mao with a gun. Like, that just seems like a bad idea. Maybe we knew that Lihaku was here the entire time too. I've kind of talked about this already, but the gun being a Western design, a design we haven't seen before, would imply that it came from that same caravan, that it was brought in by Aileen and Ayla, and that there was some greater plot here to get Jinshi here at this time. Linking all that information together makes me suspicious of Shisho. Of course. Now, right here's when I thought it was going to happen, when it seems like we're concluding our mystery of the week. This is when I thought that Mao Mao would maybe think, why am I the way that I am? she doesn't really, in my opinion. A lot said with a look, I guess, but I'd like some internal dialogue here. Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, so that's where Gao Shun was invited in his own right. That's really fun. I missed this in the dialogue. So he is here as a surrogate for Jinshi. That's why Basen has to take on the role of being Kosen's servant. Yeah. So we invited Jinshi. Jinshi's still important, but we invited both Jinshi and the prince's brother. Or the emperor's brother, excuse me, the prince. Because Jinshi is the same, he occupies those two roles, he can only go as one of them, we must send Gao Shun in Jinshi's place as a result. That's really smart. And Shisho, why would Shisho invite both Jinshi and Kosen, or Jinshi and the Emperor's brother? Like, is he trolling? What's the point in that? We get a lot of Gao Shun here too. It must be terrible being forced to become a eunuch because you angered the Empress. So this is the lie that we're going with for Gao Shun. Because I forget if we unpack this, but is Gao Shun a eunuch? I don't think he is. Again, he's had a son, but that obviously was before the whole Jinshi situation anyway. Are you lying about being a eunuch too, and this is the bait? Or are you actually a eunuch, and you're just next to Jinshi? I don't know, that's all up in the air. But it's important to see what the public perception is of Gao Shun, as opposed to what our reality is too. Yeah, it's interesting. This is interesting too, forced to become a eunuch because you angered the Empress. Okay, if we're talking about, are we talking about the Empress? Like, Jinshi's, no. Like the former Emperor's mother. Is that the Empress that you angered? Because she was all about slavery and eunuchs and stuff, but the Empress Dowager's not so much about that kind of stuff. That's why we're kind of struggling to find doctors for the rear palace, because there's not enough eunuchs anymore under the Empress Dowager's kind of reign, if that makes any sense. Like, yeah, I don't know. You must have angered, according to public perception, the former Empress, the one that died like 6 years ago or whatever. I became a eunuch, discarded the Ma name and changed it to Gao Shun, but at parties I am treated as one of the Ma family. Yeah, you have this weird dual role, right? Much like the moon, a secret that I keep hidden, and something that I show to everybody else around me. Now, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on there. This is obviously mirroring, using it again, the whole flower closing, flower blooming thing that Mama has going on. There is stuff that I must keep hidden. There's stuff that I must reveal. How much of that do I show? How much of that do I not show? And then, of course, linking the moon into femininity as well. I'm only showing off half of my kind of more feminine side. Are we associating that with being a eunuch? Is the lack of masculinity a feminine thing? I don't know. There's something there. It's also kind of in the moonlight, in the darkness, I'm this one side, in the light I am another. Yeah, it's lots of fun stuff, obviously. It's too bad that the beautiful eunuch couldn't join us on this hunt. The masked lord is with us this time. If that beautiful face joined us, it would be an insult to our lord. What the hell are you talking about? I heard the masked lord has terrible burn scar on his face. I also heard he's still locked away in his room. Well, he is right now, yeah, but he's been on the hunt. The Emperor must be worried too to have that as the crown prince. So again, there is a general sentiment in the rear palace that Jinshi, well, not Jinshi, the crown prince, that the crown prince may not be an appropriate person to run the joint if the Emperor was to die. Because he's always in his room, maybe he has a scarred face, we don't really know much about him. Now, question for the audience. Does everybody on this hunt know that the masked prince is the crown prince? Because our dialogue here almost implies the opposite. I heard the masked lord has a terrible burn scar on his face. I also heard he's still locked away in his room. Does that not... He's not. He's on the hunt. You guys know he's on the hunt because you've seen him. Why would you call the masked lord is... He's here. He's not locked in his room. Maybe in general, when he is away, he is locked. Or he's at home, he's locked in his room, I guess. The Emperor must be worried too to have that as the crown prince. I'm really struggling with who knows what information a lot of the time. I feel like that's where I'm getting confused. And again, I mean, it's a mystery show. You're meant to try to be figuring this stuff out and be paying attention. So again, maybe it's the intended effect. I don't know. I don't know if I'm dumb or not. I don't know if taking weeks between this whole shit is really advisable either, but everybody else is doing that too. Again, please advise if I am horrifically on the wrong track for some reason. But on the flip side, I think the soundtrack of this scene's really nice. One of the best pieces I've heard this season thus far, for sure. Okay, this clears it up a little bit. Gao Shun here says that everybody here, during this hunt, during this party, is trying to see if the Emperor's younger brother, the Masked Lord, is suitable to rule this place, right? They're trying to get a read on him. Did Jinchi fail? Did he succeed in this exercise? I'm guessing that the 2 hours away after being visibly sick probably isn't the best indicator. Again, the subtext to this obviously is the former emperor and his particular afflictions. Everybody knew he was a pushover. Everybody knew he wasn't that strong, wasn't this manly figure that you're meant to be when leading the nation. We don't want that mistake to repeat itself if something was to happen to the current emperor. Therefore, it's important that Zhao Mao knows the truth, because if Zhao Mao knows the truth, then she can start to help Jinchi with this plight that he has. And again, if there's attempts being made on his life as well, potentially she can sniff out any of these attempts early and that kind of stuff. She's useful. She needs to know this stuff so she can help us in the long term. On the Mao Mao flip side, obviously she doesn't want to go through with all of that all the time. That's not really her vibe. She wants to lay low and not be important and stuff. Again, she needs to know so that she can deal with problems that could take place in the near future. I guess the show knows as well about the thing that I've been talking about. The first line when we meet back up with Mao Mao again is another uncomfortable ending. I don't know how I feel about all this stuff. The tension remains unsolved. That being the tension in the major mystery that's taking place. This whole kind of caravan, suspicion, attempts being made on people's life. We didn't really get any further in figuring out or proving anything concretely. We can't really act on any of it. It's uncomfortable. It's uneasy. There's no resolve. In the same way that I think it's uncomfortable, uneasy, and that there's no resolve in your relationship with Jinchi or you coming to terms with that information about his true origins. And we immediately can compare it to the Sure thing, right? Where it's like, yeah, there was an attempt made on Jinchi's life and we didn't really investigate it any further and she kind of got away. Again, there was an attempt made on Jinchi's life and we don't really know who the culprit is in the here and now. I think contrasting these two, this time it was fucking awesome. It was fucking so cool. There was so much cool shit going on. This time it's kind of a little bit more muted. So it's not just like that other time. Okay, I guess I'm coming to terms with the fact that the show knows what it's doing. Let me explain. So again, another uncomfortable ending, that whole spiel that I just went on. Cool. Jinchi then shows back up here. Mao Mao is visibly surprised. She doesn't want to go through with this kind of thing. And we're both not in the same room. There's still this physical barrier between us because despite everything, I'm not being honest. And again, the only moment where we break open this barrier is that so Mao Mao can thank Jinchi about the apothecary ingredients and stuff. It's not on that level. We didn't really uncover anything more about the relationship. We didn't uncover anything more about the truth. It's just still that same old relationship that we've always had, you know? The same one that was solidified at the end of season 1 as well. And again, the show knows that. It's just frustrating. I'm ready for the next step, for sure. Even, again, despite even the door being there, both being back-to-back too. Again, that same idea, not being on that same page, not seeing eye to eye. Now, again, more of this. I'd love her to reflect more on this during this whole bathing sequence next episode, right? I've always been slow when it comes to understanding human feelings. This links back to my time at Verdigris House as a young child. The big sisters who raised me were all hardworking courtesans. They didn't have the time to always stop me crying and whatnot, right? So eventually I just learned not to cry. That might be why I'm slow to notice how others feel about me, good and bad. Now again, it's less direct than this. It's a little bit more, metaphorical. I'm slow to notice my own feelings and slow to notice the feelings of others around me because of the neglect of my mother and my childhood and all that kind of stuff we unpacked in season 1. I'm emotionally stunted because the people that raised me were emotionally stunted. I almost value myself only as much as the physical value I can provide, as much as I can investigate and ply my trade and all that kind of stuff, rather than having value as an emotional human to another human. Again, I feel like an asset. I feel like something that's just kind of being bought. I feel almost like one of the courtesans at Vertigo's house, only that the trade that I'm playing is this whole apothecary investigation type stuff. So when Jinshi comes through, and again, it's squarely obvious to me that he has genuine feelings for me, I don't know how to meet that. And I guess that's the next step for Mao Mao, understanding that, unpacking that, trying to grapple with her own feelings, how she feels about Jinshi. And I really don't know how you do that. Maybe you go back to Lacan, maybe. Luhrmann. Some other familial figure and try to unpack it from there. And again, not Lacan in a hug me, sing kumbaya kind of way, but more as a to bounce ideas off of kind of way. Because again, his whole thing was being emotionally stunted as well and not really understanding humans. Mao Mao inheriting that in some ways is significant. Again, I feel like that's a direction. Another really interesting line here is, no matter what, you will always be Master Jinshi to me. Is that a good thing in Jinshi's eyes, or is it a bad thing? Again, it means that she won't blab, it means that she won't break the secret, it means that she's now on a level and that she's willing to cooperate, but it also means that we'll never be something more, we'll never be equals, there'll always be a master-servant relationship there before a romantic one. And again, Jinshi's reaction there, I think, is significant too. Again, that's my honest feelings. Whether he has his balls or not has nothing to do with me. Again, this whole closed flower idea, this has nothing to do with me. I'm just a servant. Blah, 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 blah. Get me out of here. Yeah, again, she's doing classic Mao Mao move. Oh, another really fun one is just as we're handing over the Ox Bazaar and all that kind of stuff, there is a touch of the fingers slightly and a flinch from Jinshi. Yeah, again, he's feeling some kind of way about what she just said for sure. Now again, this was the part that really frustrated me. This part specifically feels just like a repeat of season 1, right? The end of season 1, where again, you try to say something significant to her, a little bit more big picture, and she just kind of drowns it out and focuses on the thing. Again, there's only a certain amount of times I think you can do that, and I feel like the show's overstaying its welcome there. Like, in contrast to earlier here in the episode, I feel like this scene called to be a little bit more serious as opposed to comedic. Yeah, just my 2 cents, I don't know. But again, breaking this barrier, breaking the back-to-back, breaking through the door, and then seeing this love-struck look, I don't know, and basing that on the Ox Bazaar, that's, yeah, you see what they're doing for sure. And then Oyasumi Nasai, locking the door, I'm going to go focus on this for a while. You chill out there, I don't want to hear anything else about what you have to say. Again, sitting on the bed, staring at this thing, I don't care whether or not Master Jinshi is a real eunuch, but I do owe him for this. If his secret gets out, and it gets me involved, then I'll make him into a eunuch for real. Pause. Jesus Christ, Mao Mao, chill out. Yeah, again, it definitely is going to drag you into something. You knowing this information now and people knowing that you potentially know this information now will drag you into things. Because you're important to Jinshi now, you're in danger. I don't know. And then again, that's probably where we're going in the, short to medium term future. This whole stuff with the car is, I don't know. I guess it's just the narrator revealing to us that Jinshi's role actually is the Crown Prince, confirming that even outside of the, as a narrator, right? We can assume that it's true a narrator is saying it. Why would a narrator lie? After all, Jinshi, you are our emperor's younger brother. Ka Zugetsu, of course. Yeah, again, you cannot stay in your temporary position forever. Things must change. Your full moon must show. You can't keep this secret. And again, this kind of half-cocked moon, I think, is a metaphor for the entire way I feel about the episode, if I'm honest. It's just kind of like a half reveal. We're almost there. They're teasing me a little bit more than I think they should. But again, I mean, it's all very fascinating still. Yeah, I don't know. He's royalty, in as many words. My hat's kind of dirty. That's kind of odd. Anyway, yeah, it was fine. I don't know. I want Mao Mao to grow the fuck up and actually, reveal some things to herself. But I don't know the character by which she gets thrust into that. What character is going to make her mature emotionally a little bit more? I don't know. It's a tough one. But I guess we'll see. Cool episodes regardless. I don't know. It had a dog in it. It must have been okay. Next week, 2 more. Next week, new opening. Next week, new core. Looking forward to it, I guess. At least I think all those things are true. It's up there on Patreon if you're watching this publicly. So, I don't know. peruse that if you will. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next week. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.